Welcome to it. Nina nonke out there watching, it is the second episode of The Life Gulento Lena. That means The Life So Far, or The Life So Far, depending on how you look at it. AKA MarazA. Thank you so much for joining me. Wherever you're watching this from, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, I don't know what other platforms podcasts are in, but I probably put this there. Maybe a little bit too late. But if you're on YouTube, please hit that like button. Leave me a comment down below and let me know how you feel about some of the topics that are going to come up in this episode. But also, most importantly, please subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss a single episode. We've got content on MarazA TV from Monday to Friday. By the way, all of my subscribers on the MarazA MC channel, I'm moving this type of content over to the MarazA TV channel because there's going to be so much going on as far as the music is concerned. And, you know, to be honest, I don't want to cause confusion. So we're setting aside a separate platform for all this content, which is just another extension of me. So if you want umculo music, you go directly to the MarazA MC channel and all you get is music videos, and maybe some behind the scenes of those songs. But on MarazA TV, you'll find this type of content. And that's the type of content that I truly enjoy making. For me, it's just another extension of what I already do. It's just another extension of my poetry, of my art, of my craft as an artist. And so do please subscribe to MarazA TV Njengamanje. All of this content is going to move slowly towards that area, and eventually it'll only be available on that channel. To all those of you who've already subscribed, I appreciate you. Big shout out to Marco, by the way, for being my first guest. Yo, real talk. Mbuzi that man. Big shout out to Marco for being my first guest on the first episode. And big shout out to all of you guys who tuned in. The love has been absolutely overwhelming. Kumbulake, every single Friday you can join me from 7 p.m. for a first of its kind in South Africa, a podcast that is streamed live, but not only that, one where each and every episode allows one of you guys the chance to be my co-host. That's like Pulwa Umhlaba, groundbreaking. And speaking of groundbreaking, my second co-host of the season, the one and only, all the way from Mpumalanga, young producer, I'd even go as far as saying young entrepreneur, whether he started it or not, from the conversations we've had on stream, by the way. I know this guy because he's a regular watcher and a viewer of my live stream. We've never even met, but I already feel like I know so much about him. So please help me in welcoming LTG to the stage.
What's popping?
Except LTD. What's good, bro?
What's popping? Grand Lapo.
I'm easy, man. I'm easy. For anyone who is not fortunate enough to be able to hang out with us for 4 hours at a time on Tuesdays, on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays when we stream, please tell them who LTD is, where you're from, and what you do.
Who LTD is Ikamala Kusmonseni Horatius cause on Kuminens Pretty, actually election that's Matsulu. And yeah, Matul.
Yeah.
It's unknown.
Yeah, I know.
By most.
Yeah, no. I almost said it's the first time hearing of it, but it's actually the second time I'm hearing of it. And the first time I heard of it was from you on the stream.
Yeah. So LTD is a creative. I like to call myself a creative because I do lots of things based on creative, whether it's making beats, whether it's photography, whether it's graphic design based, or creating other content for other people, like giving people ideas. If I can see with it, okay, your image or type of movement is based on this. Why don't you try and add this and this and that? So basically, I'm just a creative. Idea genius, if I can put it like that.
Yeah. I know, that's dope, though. That's dope. It's beautiful to hear. And especially knowing, Gucci, you come from, you're a hood guy, but you're still expressing yourself in so many different ways. How much of a challenge is that? Because, a creative expression can only be as detailed as our resources allow. And by resources, I mean not just, the actual tools you need, like a microphone for recording or paint brushes for painting, but also a resource called time. And if you're in the hood and you need to make ends meet, your time might need to be better used elsewhere. How are you managing to keep chasing your creative expressions in spite of the circumstances you might be facing?
To be honest, it's a bit difficult.
Yeah.
A bit difficult because, for instance, I do quite almost a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because I would get sometimes bookings for photography. Meanwhile, at the same time, I'm telling myself that I need to complete the project just one musically.
Damn, so photographer and a producer.
Yeah. So I have to try and manage one thing at a time. So if it's okay, this is more lucrative than the other, I'll pause this one thing and focus on the other thing until it's a need. Once I'm done with that, then I can say, okay, there's space for me to be free. Yeah. I use that free time and put it on to the other thing which I was supposed to do. Unlike putting silence and just relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, see, I love that mentality, man. A mentality where you don't wait for things to happen for you. You keep grinding. You use the little that you have. And then all the resources you accumulate as you start moving.
Exactly. Because it's not easy working when you don't have anything. Yeah. Luckily for me, I like going out and meeting people, and if you need this skill, and I need your skills as well, we can just exchange by payment of skills. And that moment, as time goes on, then imani will come through. Type of thing.
That's a brilliant foundation to start it. And I've actually got a surprise for you because I had not announced who the guest was for today's show. And let me see if you are able to guess. So he's a young producer who also came from absolutely nothing, used the very little that he had, and found himself achieving success in the most unlikeliest of areas, but also realizing that this music industry sometimes it's just surrounded by a very thick, murky and dark ring of lies.
Ooh.
Can you guess who I'm talking about?
Oh, I got the last one. I can tell you who you're talking about.
Who is it? Who are we checking out today?
The one and only Lastee.
Last man standing, all the way from Select Play. Fetu. He's an incredible inspiration of mine. I've managed to work with him. I can't wait to hear what you have to say to him, LTD. Are you ready?
I'm completely ready, dog.
All right, let's get him
ready.
in.
Are we?
I've been at my home with my niggas trying to score a piece of this money, but you already know that. Bet to yellow bone, all the speakers lollip thumb. Now I'm getting in the zone now. Show me where my juice at. Fill it up on Sundays a little.
Hey, as promised, we out here with the main man himself, Lastee. Mfowethu, kunjani?
Ngiphila kakhulu.
Man. For anyone who's out there watching, what's your full name, surname, where you from?
Uthulasizwe wakadlamini le ndawo egotiki kube inkinga kodwa ngisuka eNorth nje impela eKing Glove.
Oh damn.
Yeah, phakathi.
A swallow elephant.
Impela. Mo ukuthi waseKing Glove wazimpela.
So what is it? It's very interesting. I never thought that you'd actually be from the northern side of KZN. I thought you were actually from around Durban. What led you to ending up being in Durban?
Hey, inkinga zabazali. We inherit whatever. Yeah. So ma basuka King Glove by eThekwini bathola imisebenzi.
Yeah.
Kwasiphoqa nathi muyingane uhlala nomama kwasiphoqa hayi kumele sohlala eThekwini nathi. But ikhaya nje like the base uma wase King Glove baba wase King Glove. But ubaba wahamba nawe eGoli. So ngasala noma kwamele nami ngiyohlala eThekwini.
Where is ubaba right now?
UKamashu. He lives Kamashu. Sesethekwini manje naye. Yeah, I got back I was probably like 15, 12 or 15. That's when he got back, and then we tried to make it work and it didn't, but yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Try to make it work? Do you mean like maybe the relationship or their marriage, or your relationship with Pops as a son? What is it that you try to make it work that didn't work?
When the way I remember the story, because it's Gangsayingana, so I was born, and then like 2 months down he had to go. As izinto ngiunderstand manje because nami sengikhulile nani, but he had to go as a goal ukuze athole umsebenzi.
Yeah.
Which meant ukuthi ngeke azakhule nami, yabo. Ngizokhula noma. But obviously uyazi abantu besifazane ngendlela nawo aba understanda ngayo. Umuntu mehamba, sometimes you don't even need money, or you just need the presence, or even a phone call to say ngane yakho phela, yabo. Awunjani ngane kanjani. So there was that like disconnect, and then fast forward washona umkhulu ke, and then that was ngesikhathi kushona umkhulu because ubaba wakhe obviously he had to come back as umncaba. So that was like the first time I ever even like met sing.
Wow,
yeah.
And how old were you?
Yeah, that's the I'm sure I would have to check with umkhulu washona nini to know how old I was. But I was probably like 12, 13, like between 12 and 15. I'm not sure. That was the first time we meet, but I'm not holding any grudges. Like we spoke about Leo to Leo. Like I understand them now because now I'm saying him dialogue. So maybe, maybe I couldn't. Like it was important. I'm not saying I'm condoning it, but I'm saying you can try to understand it. Like I wouldn't say 15 years but we can try to understand why. And it doesn't mean now because I understand, maybe I have an idea of why, then it makes it right. No, I just understand it, and I chose to just put it aside because it was a baggage that I didn't want to carry. It's too heavy.
Yeah. I mean, these days, dude, you got to be careful. You'll speak in a good way about your father who was obviously not present and left a lot to be desired, but you've made peace with it, and you're like, I understand him, it's cool, and people are gonna act like you are now endorsing male behavior of leaving their children behind.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you feel? It's very interesting for me when I sit down with artists like yourself. I'm lucky enough to have known you for a while. Sure. You're an intelligent guy, you're a creative, you're a talented guy, you're a grounded guy, but you're also an introverted guy. And which is very interesting when an introvert makes music. In the music is where you hear them speak the most.
Yeah.
How are you navigating the current climate where all your opinions have to satisfy a certain agenda? If they don't, then you risk being cancelled. How have you adjusted to making music in an era where you have to say 3 times that I'm not condoning my father not being in my life, because there's some people who are going to take that as another man just condoning bad male behavior?
Yeah. Hey, that's a good question. But Mina, what I always say is that it may sound cliche. I don't know how many people, like how many people have heard this, but you are only responsible for what you said, not how that person received it. So when I say something, I say it because that's how I feel. But how you take it, you mustn't come back and blame me. But I understand what says into like the society we live in. If you are a person that we look up to, it's easy for you to take and think it's right. So I have to try to make it as clear as possible. It's okay, this is what I'm saying. If something like a grade 3 child can understand what I'm saying, then I feel like Nalo Mutomtala would understand. So I try to explain it as much as that. But you must understand if you want to know what I said, you can ask me. But if you want to take what you want to take from what I said, then I'm not responsible.
Yeah. I really wish it was still like that. Sadly, you are responsible now for what people hear, not what you say.
Yeah.
And it's a pity, but it's something I think we're going to have to navigate. I mean, it's a tough time to be an outspoken creative, but we've been through a lot of tough times, and this is just the first in a long road of many.
True.
You were speaking earlier, and you were telling me about we're talking about those monitors of mine that I found.
Yeah.
And you're saying those were your first monitors as well.
Yeah.
Before we even get to your life so far, when the music thing started, when you started taking it seriously, where were you in life, and what were you hoping to see from you taking that thing seriously?
I don't think it was a conscious decision. I don't think I was aware when I made that decision, because from Uma Washona, I think I was doing grade 11, and then grade 12
Rest of soul.
Yeah, which meant it was harder. When I got to grade 12, I didn't want to be there anymore. It was just like saying yes, because but I didn't want to be there. So the first thing that I did when I got out, mind you, who is the only parent that I live with, like nobody else, means it's a struggle now. Every day now you have to
you have to eat.
What's what you do? As I was saying, we take from where they left off. She wasn't fortunate enough to like have a house of her own that I can call. It's okay, I know that's my house, that's my home, whatever. So that means now you're starting from ground zero. So,
wait, so you're saying you didn't have a home when that happened?
No. The home that I had was emakaya, of which igababa, akone kaya, nelinyi kaya, ingithi igama, which is not home. So there was no like home anytime. No, mina ngazalwa ulo mama nalo baba nalika balak 14. So you had to like literally hustle from. So guys, to grade 12. The first thing that I wanted to do was to get a job. Obviously, your question was what's music kuganjan.
Yeah.
So when I started, all I knew was singing, because that's what my mom used to like. So it's just like music, sing, do that. And then there was this one friend of mine who unfortunately passed on. Yo, bro, there's this rapping thing. He was a fan of Eminem. I was like, yo, dog, there's this.
Man after my own heart.
Yes, there's this guy, if it's Eminem or rap, dog, I want us to rap. And I didn't know nothing about rapping, and it's crazy because when I started rapping. You don't want to hear it, but that's how I started. Rap, I guess I rap, and that's how I like formally got introduced into like making of music. I always liked music, but I didn't know how to make. I didn't even know if good singing was give something, give a mic, and then it's a song.
Sing a party and a producer just in
master like songs has get to something there, the studio in town, not to get to something where we would like put 50 rand
in town. It's a win.
Yeah, it's a win. It's total brand tracks. I'm so recorded them. So my when I got out of school, my vision was to be like K Master, because he had a computer and a soft. I didn't even know I'm gonna get Reason or Cubase, none. All I wanted was to get a job and then save money, buy a computer, and get. That's what I did. I literally out of school got a job where my uncle used to work. Uncle Mel. That's if it's Uncle Mel love. I worked for 11 months. That was like the worst 11 months of my life, because I had to answer to a white person who not to talk bad, but who I feel like I knew better than him. But I was in a...
You were in a less advantaged position,
So there was nothing
privilege.
I could do.
.
So I worked for that 11 months. I got enough money. I actually took a loan so I can buy the computer early, So I bought the computer, and then I was working for the rest of the 11 months just to pay off the computer and get out. Yeah, so because it was changed, bro. It was changed. I was earning, this was probably 2007, I think. Yeah. I was earning 1,360. 1,360 per month.
That's a lot.
I'm telling you. And I wanted It was a Core 2 Duo, I think. It's like a computer you can't even use now.
Yeah, true.
But I was.
It was say Fruity Loops 3 or something.
3. No, it was an 8. It was an 8. Yeah,
oh,
it was an FO8.
Yeah.
So I worked so hard to just get that. And then I don't condone this too, but in to get like software.
Yeah, cracks.
Cracked, and everything. But I guess that gave me an opportunity, to start something that I can see as a career now. I'm like, now I'm working with that dude and that dude. That's why I always say to people who would see sometimes things that you see as like curses, like, why is this happening to me? They actually make you stronger.
Yeah.
Now I can shoot a video. Now I can do a beat. Yeah. Like I dropped an EP today. 90% of it is me, including the interviews, everything that I've been like doing. Yeah. That's just like me. I'm not saying me alone, because obviously there's people who are helping around, but I'm saying I can still do it, even if not to like they do a great job, but I can do it.
You've been through it all. You've been through the trenches.
So whatever that I felt like was bad or was a curse at that time, now it looks like a blessing. It's like, oh shit, I needed that. Because now I can do this. Oh, okay. I needed to work there.
And look at you now. Look at you now. You're on the live SoFa. Yeah. I mean, LTT.
Coming up, when you come up, sure. I hear you meet certain people, like, let's say, maybe they're your friends. Are they still around you, those who came with you from day one?
Some of them, they're still there. But unfortunately, like with friends, sometimes you don't share the same goal.
The same vision.
Yeah.
Maybe at we call our corner, it's the same. But as you go up, it starts being different. Sometimes you want to say, okay, maybe I'm here to just do beats for you, as opposed to I'm here to do beats for you, but you can also do something for me.
Yes.
So sometimes, sometimes you feel like I like our friendship, but I don't think it's fruitful for me.
Yeah, it's just fruitful for the other party,
but not for me. So you grow, you like grow apart, and then whoever you feel like within your friends, whoever you feel like understands and shares the same goal, then. You go for it. It's not even something that you make decisions for. Now we're not doing the same thing,
Yeah.
That guy, let me just go back and cheat, because I feel like they really, really understand.
I'm willing to bet that the guy who said Asrepe, because Eminem no longer does it.
Unfortunately, he passed on.
Oh, yeah. I'm a fucking idiot. Jesus Christ.
Nah, he understands. Trust me. He's that guy.
My bad, dog. It's very interesting though for me. Because we have conversations on and off. Of course, Sazana like Dala, but I don't know, man. There used to be a time when you remember there used to be a lot of crews. There was a lot of crews. Like everyone, there was a crew somewhere. Everyone was part of a crew, and I remember you were also part of a crew. The first time I ever heard of you, you were part of a crew called the Gaffa Squad.
Yes.
How did that come about? Who was in there, and why did that crew begin?
We would I'm just gonna go back a little bit. When we started like doing music, there was 3 different crews in my hood, which was Sina, Sasibizan Ketso Warrior, and then the other guys were calling themselves WK, which was Warrior. At that time there were White Knights, and then there was another group called BADA. I forget what it. Bada. Yeah. I think it's like brilliant at doing African or something like that. I'm not too sure.
Brilliant at doing Africa.
Either brilliant or best.
That sounds like the tagline for Europe in the 1600s. We're brilliant at doing Africa.
Oh shit. Yeah. So obviously because money, we didn't have money. So quick group was about 3. And this the other group, White Knights, I think there was also like 3 or 4 of them. And then BADA, there was also 3 of them. But for you to get money to even go to K Master, must figure rehearse. So first rehearse and then put 5 rand or whatever you have, and then ganjala. So for you to even get a song, if it's 3 months, you know, and then we just got together and yes, limaza lento. Let's just get together. Because man keep it 20 rand, keep it 20 rand, it's banning, and then go easy. We figure to goal. That's very slang because the name Tikafa meant determined groups assembling firm attraction. That's what it was. So it was different groups who got together so that it could be easier to make music.
And y'all were determined.
Yeah.
Because I had never seen you perform. It's in an era where, I mean, the internet existed, but it was pretty much to send emails and Google pictures of Dragon Ball Z and do Reverb Nation in MySpace. Yes. And you push through it. Do you think that, obviously, the hustle these days is something completely different. Do you think that there are some skills that you picked up then in terms of pushing and marketing your music that are still transferable to today? Because I was having a talk with Diba the other day, and we were just talking about, wait, yo, LTD. The CD is dead.
It's dead.
The CD is dead.
The CD is dead, yeah.
It's not there anymore.
You know, dude, I was going through my archives and I found like copies of my album and a cover and cases that were still not yet cut because I'd go and print. No. It's the actual selling the album. I would print out, cut them out myself to save money, build the case, put in a CD and start selling it. And now, even if I give someone that, chances are they'll have nowhere to play it. Do you think there's still skills that you picked up back then that are still transferable to today? And if you do, what are they?
I doubt. Like the industry is just like, I don't know, it has changed a whole lot. I would say, because what we used to do, Tina, we didn't really prioritize money, which was bad. Like I realize it now, would see quite better. But the nice thing about it is that your music would get out there quicker than if you do sell it.
Yes.
I think a skill that, like I'm just thinking about it now, I don't know, you decide if it's a skill or whatever. Would be Uguti, music is more of like a promotional thing. It's not to sell. And then when people know your songs, then they book you. Because if you think about it, that's what the companies have on us. They say, I know, but you won't get your music to UK without me. You won't get the music to this place. But if you don't sell the music, instead, you promote yourself with the music, then that's how you get your bookings, because that's where the money is. It's not really on CD sales or records or whatever. So I think if that's a skill, then it would be nice to say, I know, actually, I don't need to sell my music. I need to push it as hard as possible. I need to put it on Audio Mac and put it in all this free streaming MarazA or whatever. You know, and then when people know it, they know me, and then they're gonna start booking me. You know, I think that's where we get it wrong when we say, I want to sell the music. That's how I want to make money. But that's not where the money is. You know,
no, especially
do this as a promotion. Just
especially
like how you
not in this country. Not in this country.
It's even worse in this country. Like, way.
It takes me back to those days when Shayama bootleg CDs and stuff. How do you feel about the MarazA of it?
Yeah, if you think your money is in selling records, then MarazA is bad. But if your money is in you being promoted, you being as big as possible, people knowing your song as much as possible, then MarazA is a good thing, you know, because it's gonna make sure that the person who doesn't have an iTunes is gonna get your song and is gonna know your song and is gonna come to your show because they like your song or your music, you know. So I won't say it's good. It depends on where you're standing.
What your objective is.
As we're talking there, I'm watching Otanken on TV. I just want to ask about Elo, that Ring of Lies. How did it come about?
The
Ring of Lies theme song.
We ungane who used to manage Duncan. Who was contacted by Penguin, I think, and then they asked for him to do a title sequence for a series they were gonna make for Mzansi. 161. Please, Mzansi, pay me. I'm promoting right now. Channel 161.
Wozani lana good the life so far, sonfaga.
Amazing.
Yeah, so he got a gig, and then why I think he was busy or something, because he called me once in the can you guys do it?
So just for context to anyone out there who's listening, Ungane is actually a dope producer.
Yeah.
He's produced music for a bunch of people. So this is him now saying, I don't have the time, but here's another producer that I trust.
Yeah.
To make sure Uti, my name is not damaged and they still get a good product.
Yes.
Continue.
Yes.
So he hits you up and he says, can you do this?
Then he says, would I be able to do this? And I'm like, yeah, what's happening? Like, is it a paying thing? Because at that time, it was bad. I won't lie. So he said, yeah, they're paying. It might not be a lot. We're still trying to negotiate that, but they're paying. And he obviously is going to play like the mediator, because he knows the guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
He knows me.
So he's subcontracting you to them.
Yeah. And then I agreed. And then time went on. And then he said, actually, there's some keys that I played. Why don't I just come over and then we just do this thing? And I'm like, all right, no, let's get it. Because I didn't know the idea. Obviously, he had like the briefing and everything. So for me to know what exactly they want, I need him. So he came to the house. We produced the beats.
Yeah.
Sent it to them. I took his keys. You know, that was him. And then added like elements, bass, drums.
The rest of the beat.
The rest of the beat. And then initially we did it in English, because they said they wanted a beat, obviously, and a chorus, sort of, you know. And then we did it in English. I don't even remember how it went. We did it in English, sent it to them. They said, blind if it's about language, you know. Can we try to make it, you know, more like, you know,
bring it home.
Yeah, just try to bring it home, because that's what we didn't know the series, so it was hard to visualize what they really wanted, because sometimes like when we were working with Netflix, they would send you like episodes so that you get the feel and then you know exactly what is needed.
Yes.
So at that time,
this is a blind brief.
Yeah.
It's just all you have is an explanation.
Yeah. So we sent it to them, but we want Zulu, you know. And then again, wrote a few lines, did it in Zulu, just like how you know it now. Did it in Zulu, sent it to them. But this is the one. We're taking this one. So like long story short, that's how it came about. And then the song, like it's Epelele. That was an idea from us, which it doesn't make, because when it started airing, everyone was talking about it, like, yo, the song. Who's the guy on the chorus? At
when
that
it
time,
starts airing, it's the beat, chorus. That's it.
That's just the beat, the chorus. And then people said, it's empty, you know. Empty. I don't know. I didn't even know I sounded like empty, but they said, empty, you know. So we thought it makes business sense for us to, like, obviously, one, identity, and it just makes good business sense. Why wouldn't you give people what people want?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, so we thought, it's as well as so I tried to like adjust the beats, like arrange it, and then I asked Ungane, since you're managing Duncan, why don't we just like also include Duncan in this thing, you know? So we make it, because at that time, obviously my brand wasn't as big. So having someone who's like already in, like it makes the track solid in a way, you know? So while to Duncan, I say onwards, chorus was already there. So I just put a verse also. Now I'm jumping in. At first, it was supposed to be knock music, but I don't know what happened. And then Ungane. That's where the story ends.
Yo.
That's not where the story ends, but that's where the story ends. Yeah.
But it's just for that song.
Yeah.
Yo, when I first heard that joint, and you know, like I'm also someone I've built an entire studio around just making music for shows. Like I really love making music to accompany visuals and to accompany stories more than I do making music to accompany bars. You know, when I want a hit song, I like to go to producers like Young Toon and producers like yourself. Not my own beats, but when I'm making a song for, for a TV show, radio show, commercial, that's what I like to specialize in. However, how is it that you're able to make such amazing hit music. I mean, Godflow is... It still rings in my head every time we speak, but at the same time, dog. At the same time, Ring of Lies is also unforgettable.
Two different worlds,
but two completely different worlds. How have you managed to get that balance so right? And you're obviously a lot more layered as a musician than what the sound of Lastee is. How are you able to separate all these other ideas that you have that sound like something else and have pinpoint focus on who Lastee is as an artist? And why is it important for you to maintain a certain acoustic energy or an acoustic brand for Lastee that is independent of what Lastee, the producer, is able to do for himself and others?
I think Leonto Ngaitswala, I got it from... I'm gonna keep on referencing my mom because she's the one who introduced me to music.
Hey man, behind every great man,
there's like a strong woman. You know, very strong one. Yeah. So she was a fan of Motown music, your Manhattans, Commodores, Lionel Richie.
Yeah.
So we were watching this interview in a cassette back then. Lionel Richie, where he says, when he started doing music, he didn't know that there was something called genre. He didn't know that there's like boxes and everything. So that's why you would hear like Lionel Richie. If you don't go to your dad and ask for his collection, just listen.
Sail on down the night.
So he didn't know that there was genres and everything. He thought he was just competing with everyone. That guy, a rock guy, dropped a song. He wants to top that song. And then there's that guy who dropped a very soulful song.
And he kills it even there as well.
Yeah. So he didn't like that's how I think. He didn't box himself. Yeah. So that's how I also think. I don't think a painter should be boxed in only painting with bread, or like a painting is a painting.
Yeah.
You do however you want. And if the result is I'm not a fan of Picasso, but if the result is nice,
I want to know why.
I just I'm not a fan of Picasso, just like how I'm not a fan of olives. I feel like sometimes
acquired taste.
Yes, he's an acquired taste, and I feel like they. Like, I don't know.
Overhyped.
Yeah, they overhype him.
Yes.
These guys were too dope.
Yeah.
But it's not about Picasso.
If you look at painters, scratch out Picasso, which one do you think relates more to your music?
That's very interesting because I've always felt like music is like an audible painting. In fact, when I struggle to understand painted art, and I struggle to explain it. So I feel like it's so pretentious when you see these high-class, rich, mostly white folks at galleries looking at just splatters of paint and talking about the emotion that he conveyed in it. I'm always like, what the hell are you talking about? However, it's because it's not my thing. They definitely do see something. And then when people sometimes interpret my music, they interpret it in ways that I'd never thought of while I was making the actual song. So I feel like music in a way is like, is like fine art, is like fine art paintings because different people interpret it in different ways. That's why I loved it when Kanye West did that thing that he did with Power.
Power, that was hectic.
The music video for Power. Because apparently it's supposed to, it's a painting. That whole music video is a painting.
That's why it's not moving much.
Yeah. So back to his question, are there any painters that you feel like you would liken yourself to in terms of? I don't know any painters.
That's why I'm going. Also, I remember paintings, but I don't know who painted it.
Yeah.
Okay. How does it look?
I don't know if it's who painted Mona Lisa.
Da Vinci.
Oh, it was
Da Vinci. I was thinking Da Vinci, but I didn't want to get it wrong.
Yeah.
So my going back to that, like,
why is that painting amazing? By the way,
because it has no eyebrows.
No. no eyebrow. I don't know.
That's what you mean.
It's ready. It needs to be on fleek.
I thought he was gonna say because the other boob is smaller than the other boob.
Oh yeah, but that's natural. That's how it is. That
but
naturally.
I think I heard someone saying what makes it so dope is that when you look at a painting, you don't see brush strokes. I don't know how he painted it. So now you ask yourself how.
Okay, that's true.
It's there, but like you painted it, but there's no brush strokes. Then how did you do it?
That's actually true. Now that I think about it, it looks like a Papatigide photo.
Like he was painting it with sponge or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But you'd still see sponge marks as well.
Yeah, hey, I don't know.
How did it do it?
I don't know. But then again, when I say Mona Lisa, you see the picture.
Yeah.
When I say Picasso, what do you see?
Mona Lisa.
You don't see anything. Okay, maybe because obviously, like this, how he painted it was
the cube.
Yeah, you would. He was the only one who painted like that. But you don't see one picture, like just one. Like okay, this is it. But when I say Mona Lisa, you see it very clearly.
Yeah, if you say Picasso, I think Mona Lisa. If you say Picasso, I still see the painting. Nothing else. So I don't see him. I don't see his other work.
I don't see anything. That's why I was saying I'm seeing the structure because I know how he paints, but I don't see one painting. I don't see like one painting that I can say, okay, this was legendary.
Okay, let me tell you. Actually, the reason when you say Picasso, I see the Mona Lisa painting is because I know, but not because he's such a distinctive artist that I immediately think. When you think Eminem new song, you can sort of have an idea of what that's going to be, what it's going to say. He's got a strong identity and no one can do it better. Whereas, Da Vinci, anyone, in my eyes, anyone could have painted that painting. So I only associated with his name because I know, not because it's something so mind-blowing that it sets him apart. No.
True.
Actually, Da Vinci did a lot of things though.
He did, It's just that one was like super famous.
Yeah. Siyambongela. Why we were talking earlier last year, and you said, because I know you do a lot, and if you put up 2 covers on the gram, and you wanted people to vote for which ones they think is the best. And
did you do them yourself though?
Yeah, both of them.
You designed both?
Nice.
Yeah.
You see, there's another skill that transferred itself.
Yeah.
And then we spoke about we briefly spoke about Ring of Lies, and you said, you wanted to create this gap that you've created between now and then, so that because now people were expecting you to come out with the Ring of Lies sound.
The Ring of Lies guy.
Why is it important for you to, even though you are multifaceted, why is it important for the Lastee as a musician brand to have one distinct direction? And it's not to say it sounds monotonous, but it has an identity and there's a continuation of that identity. Why is that important? Because there's a lot of people who, Cruz. A guy who know called Cruz, or bands, okay, to be hip hopper, be quieter, be houser, be quieter. There was no distinct direction. Why is it important for you to do that?
Like I don't like boxing. Like I don't like boxes. I want to just like put that out there. I want to be able to do like whatever I feel like doing at that time.
Yes.
But when you do music, what you like, if you've been doing it for a long time, you realize that there's songs that are just easier to make, for you as an artist. There's some when maybe MarazA throws the beats now, it will be easier for me to write. And then there's songs that are like super hard.
Yeah.
I only prefer boxes whenever I'm put in a box, I'm at my best. Then I don't have a problem with that. So that's why I was like, it was very important for me to say, this is the person I am. As much as I can do everything else, but this is the person I am. And I want you guys to realize that. Because if you expect me to do 10 other more Ring of Lies or whatever, Ring of Lies, I'm going to have a difficult time, because when I did that, it was solely for the DSTV thing.
Yeah.
You know, the Mzansi show. It was not me.
That's it.
Yeah. I didn't even know that we were gonna shoot a video. One day we were gonna do this thing as like a full length song. We're gonna shoot a video and people are gonna know me because of that song. You know, I was doing it because no one was even gonna know. Like people were just gonna hear the voice in a Ring of Flies theme, and then it's just about it.
Yeah,
you know?
Dude. Speaking of that theme, sorry, T.
No.
That thing was huge, and I mean, you're saying you didn't know it was going to end up being that full, and that is testament to the power of the song itself. It must have had a profound change on your life financially.
Yeah.
What did you get everything that was due to you?
Hey, it's sad because what I did, what I can say I did get was off the song, but not off the theme song. Off the song isn't like the track on radio. That's when I got paid by Samro, you know. But it's like profiting out of it being played on radio. No.
So you to this day have not gotten royalties
Nothing.
for that song being used as a theme song.
Nope.
Holy
I don't even know how much they pay for theme songs. Like, I don't know.
How, bro?
And what's weird is that people know Ring of Flies. Everyone talks about Ring of Flies, but they forget that I also did Sokulu and Partners. They forget that I also did BNL. They forget that I did. There was a show in SABC One called Cold Green, like a long time ago.
Yes.
I think it was. Hosted by Abdus and Breeze. I have never even seen the sense of that. I don't know. I literally don't know.
Dude.
I don't know how TV pays. I don't know where you go and say, hey, Chief, but I did that. How much? Like, I don't know.
Contract.
I'm probably a millionaire, but I don't even know it.
You're more than likely. Sokulu and Partners and Ring of Lies, no payment.
Nothing. I don't know.
So,
like, sorry to cut you. Like, before last year, I didn't even know there was Capasso. I didn't even know there was Saro, whatever, like others. I only knew Samro. I only knew that, okay, when Samro pays you, it's done.
So here's the thing. Every time I tell people about Capasso, now, but they also say there's not a single artist I've spoken to about Capasso who already knew Capasso except you. Do you think we are just ignorant, or is that information unnecessarily hard to come by?
I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of both in a way, because obviously there are like those AGMs, you know.
Yeah, those general meetings that no one goes to.
That no one goes to.
So all the old musicians go there and make decisions for us.
Yeah, because we don't want to go there. So that's like the ignorant part, you know.
Especially among rappers.
Exactly, you know. But also, I feel like that information, like we should be able to say Sampra online and then get the core idea of what it's like, why you need to register and what it is about, you know.
Because Sampra sounds like an organization. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Nothing there says music.
Exactly.
Because it's so close to Sandral. I just think these guys are gonna, if I go there, they're gonna ask for me to pay tickets.
But the weirdest part of it all is that how can I be a member at Samro? I'm talking the same building, bro. Like, I'm not talking about Braamfontein and then you go to somewhere else. I'm talking about the same building. Sampra, Capasso, Samro, same building. Yeah, how am I a member at Samro, but I don't know everything else? But they do have banners that are written Samro, and then there's another banner, Sampra. And then they're going to say, no, but you have to ask. But you can also tell me.
Yes.
You know, because I always come to you and then I ask. Because the first time where I was like, when these things were just not making sense, like I was trying to use my grade 5 maths and then I was like, hey, why, like the money just doesn't make sense. I went to Samro and then I asked them. And all they said was, hey, we don't know. They didn't say, no, go upstairs and check there. You know, because they can't say that. They do have the information. They know what's happening.
Yeah, those are practically their colleagues.
Yeah. Not everyone is going to read. Not everyone is going to read the banners and everything. It's up to also, because these guys, we know them as non-profit organizations.
Yes.
You know, they shouldn't be making money off this. So they should be for you. But they don't tell you.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm blaming them. I'm just saying there's like two sides of like the coin. You know, you can't say no only ignorance. I'm not responsible because you didn't read about it. You didn't ask, so I'm not responsible. Yeah, but you can also tell me,
that for me, that's as an organization that's designed to care for it, it exists purely because we exist.
Exactly.
That is the only reason that those organizations exist. They exist because musicians exist and because musicians keep making music. If musicians were to stop today, those organizations would not be running in the next 10 years.
But remember what earlier on we were watching, remember what Dave Chappelle said when he said, maybe all these guys are friends and they're fucking us up. You don't even know it. Why is someone going to tell you about Kapasu if someone is benefiting out of Kapasu?
Hey. And you see, so now you're getting to a part where, first of all, right, as someone who knows them and knows a bit about what they do, I don't think that's the case. I don't think Samro is benefiting from Kapasu. However, if Samro, as an organization, does not do enough to help you make sense of all of these things, what are you expected to think except what you just thought?
Exactly.
Because if you are left to make up your own mind, then because it makes no sense why I would come to this building every single time and I'm complaining about Uti and my consultant is not going to say, well, that portion of money is rights that are administered by this organization, because those are different kind of rights. Those are mechanical rights, and then those are needle time rights, and we just do publishing rights, and so I completely understand where you're coming from, and I do think that the organization needs to do a better job to not only reach out but also to those artists who have reached out, who are there, give them the information, because you can say you should ask. But you can't ask if you don't know that you don't know. Yeah. If you have no idea what you don't know,
and it's hard to use.
It's hard to even ask. So I completely get where you're coming from, and I really hope that I hope Samuel, hopefully you see this. This is an artist who works very hard. He's an artist who's an integral part of the business that you guys do. So please take this not as a slight or as a jab. No, it's a concern. A concern that. I feel like they're like the hospital of artists, and Utawatela is not gonna go to the patient and say, "Tell me what's wrong with your kidneys."
They have to tell you.
You have to tell the doctor will tell you something's up with your kidneys, and then you can tell them, "Oh, I drink a lot of alcohol," and they're like, "Oh, yeah, that's the problem."
That's why.
Yeah. And if you're this if you're in a hospital, I'm talking about the same building.
Yeah.
If the doctor says, "Hey, Chief, I thought it was flu, but now it seems like it's asthma or it's TB," he's gonna say, "No, go there."
Yeah, he's gonna give you a referral letter. There's a specialist there.
Someone else.
So that's what I'm asking. Also, I'm saying if someone can't do it, they must point you to someone else. They mustn't say, "Hey, Chief, we paid you what we were supposed to pay you." I don't know. When you actually do know, it's not really a jab. It's just like I feel like they can do. It's literally saying, just go check there, I don't know, but yeah, upstairs.
It's interesting. Yeah, you were saying?
Oh, I was going to go off topic on this one.
Yeah?
I was going to ask, because since in Zanzibar, there's a battle, not in South Africa only, but the world as a whole. There's a constant battle, because in hip-hop, there's more male dominance than female.
Yeah.
If you look at it, in general, there's more male producers than females. How does that sit with you now in terms of South Africa? There's practically there's one that I know who's a hip hop producer. She's from Cape Town. I don't know her name.
Yeah, she produces.
General, but how does that sit with you? Knowing there's less females in the production space.
I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I don't feel bad though, because I feel like most of our women, I'm saying this politely, most of our women like to play like the victim card, to be like, yo, I vele hip hop vele abafana yabo nan. The fact that you're saying that means that there's a gap. There's no biggest hip hop producer, biggest female hip hop producer.
Yeah.
But we also have to like, we as guys also have to like go out and look for a female. When there's a gap, why don't they bridge it? There is a gap. It's there. I don't know. I don't even know that girl from Cape Town. And I'm very sure that it will be nice. I'm very sure that Cosmo would like to do a song with females that is produced by
a female as well. Yeah.
You know, which means there's a gap. You know, but no one is closing it. And I don't want, that's why I'm saying I don't want to feel bad about it, because I feel like there's a gap and they should take the opportunity. I shouldn't be the one who feel bad for them to bridge the gap. I feel like it's a level playing ground. Yeah. Just do what you gotta do. You know. And if you're dope enough, we're gonna dog
listen to you.
I will take all the beats, dog, do a project if you're dope enough. Just do your thing.
That's it.
You know, and push.
You see, there's already like one female who's like worldwide already. I'm sure you know her. Who Wonder Girl.
Yeah, I know. I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Yeah. See, she's dope.
And she's not a good female producer.
She's a good producer. Talking about her. You see, that's what I think. That's what I think is critical, because you know, whenever it comes to these conversations of men and women, they quickly become men versus women. Yeah. If you're not saying, hey, the industry is corrupt, women are being locked out. If you say that, everyone's like, no, you're right. Excuse me. If you come with a different opinion and say, like you just said, I would love for that to happen. If I find a great producer, then I would love to work with that guy. I would love to see more girls coming in. However, if you are dope enough, it's a level playing field. We have a very delicate situation sometimes where, on the one hand, a lot of women don't like being treated like fragile eggs. You know? I remember I was watching an interview in some radio station and they were talking about how chivalry is offensive to women. If you are just like saying, oh, ladies first, you can't say that anymore, because why must I go first? What makes you think I need your help to go? And I was raised to hold the door open for a lady. I was raised to get up off my seat for a lady. Why? Because as a man, I can stand for longer. But already for me, I'm already being sexist by saying
You're
that.
assuming now that she can't stand longer than me.
I'm assuming that she can't stand longer than me. Cool. And then when you say you just have to be dope, then it's like, well, yeah, but you know, you're not giving women a chance. If we're saying we want them to be on exactly the same level, then we're trying to keep them out all the time. We just can't win. But I really respect that you're saying that, because for me, I've always maintained, like whenever I speak about Rouge, for instance, Rouge is a dope rapper.
Yes.
When I speak about Nandile, Nandile is a dope rapper. Do they have obstacles as women that stand in their way purely because? Yes, they do. But they have to fight harder to get attention, because immediately there's a lot of people who hear that this girl raps and not bother to hear them, even though most of those people are really old and they're dying out. And then there's also people who carry power in the industry who will leverage that power on women who are trying to get into the music, and they can't leverage that power of us because we don't have something that they want. But at the end of the day, amongst us as artists, I am not going to feature someone simply because they are a female. I think that would be the biggest way of me disrespecting them.
It's not even fair, bro. Like,
it's not fair at all. It is not fair at all, because just because someone is a woman doesn't mean we must now overlook their shortcomings, because when they get to the top, the people will not be politically correct with their comments. Where's Iggy right now? Who Iggy is there right now? It's just like, yo, you are trash. Nice body, but your bars are trash. And it's interesting you should say that, because yes, they do have those obstacles. But do you know what obstacles they also don't have? Which is so they can get targeted for their bodies and their sexuality, and we can't, unless whoever you're dealing with is gay. But it's not something that happens a lot to us. However, what does happen a lot to us is as soon as we get out of matric, we are expected to start taking care of the household. And then you start having to choose between your dream and the responsibilities that you carry simply because you're a man. There's I don't know of any home, Mina, where when my peers who are girls, when they finished school and everyone started looking at them and saying, you need to start feeding us. It didn't happen for them because they are women, and it happens for me because I'm a man. So there's a challenge that we face that they don't. So it's a struggle for everybody, but I do think that the most important thing that we should always be looking at, whether we're judging artists or whether we're judging ourselves as artists or fellow artists, is the art itself.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nothing about it.
Your chromosomes come after. If you lower the bar for women, you are ensuring that they'll never reach ours. Because if you say they can perform this much less than us in music and it's fine, then they will never be on the same level as us. Exactly. And there's a lot of, like right now, Rouge, dog. Rouge is
hard.
Bodying rappers.
Hard.
In hip-hop, dog. I can't wait for the day where the South African Hip Hop Awards doesn't have a best male or a best female.
Yo, that would be the best thing ever, bro.
You know? Just best artist.
Just say best artist.
Yeah, because it's rap, especially in rap. It's so important to hold your own. Bro. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I understand why they have it now, and it's important. It's encouraging and inspiring a lot of girls. Hopefully, we are working towards it. Speaking of responsibilities that you cannot escape, how is the situation with you being in the music industry and being seen and being known? Because the image that your parents have of you, the image that your family has of you, as soon as they see you do something that they thought was completely unattainable in their eyes, like being on TV, like being in a theme song, as soon as they see that, they start calculating how much you're making. And their calculations are always off. They are never anywhere near what you're actually making. Have you experienced?
Making millions.
Yeah, already. Just because you had an interview, TV. Have you encountered it? And if so, how are you dealing with it?
I have, but I don't know if it's if it's me running away from dealing with it, or sometimes I feel like when the dust settles, the picture is clear. You know, when there's a lot of things happening, you know, people talking this and that, I turn to okay, I can't explain it to you now because you won't understand. So let me just, keep a distance.
Protect your peace.
Yeah. And then when the dust settles, you'll see what it was. You'll understand. I won't even have to explain it to you. But it happens a lot. It happens a lot. I had there's a guy that we used to work with, Gisase P5, the Gaffer days and everything.
Yeah.
His name is Raja. Most people know him.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yes, he's a great artist, great guy, overall, So my situation, obviously, after my mom passing and everything, the studio that we built was at his house. So I was kind of spending more time at his house than where I used to stay, you know. So I So I kind of spoke to Umawake. We spoke to Umawake Sinai because because 75% of the time I'm here, Why don't I just stay here?
You went through that as well?
Yeah. So why don't I just stay here? So obviously I wasn't privileged enough to have visited no adoption papers, So it was it was official, unofficial,
Wow.
It's okay. This is my mom. This is my brother.
Wow, dude.
What we eat, you're gonna eat. It was that situation. But there was a disconnect after I went to Joburg. And I feel like the biggest misunderstanding is that because when I went to Joburg, Utsela to Telemann, people know him as Telemann. I don't want to say had already made it, but he was in a better place than where I was. Utsela is like a brother to me. We literally started
select play
from zero, nothing. I think Mangabengitsi, I was poor. He understands because he's exactly where I was, you know. So when I moved to Joburg to live with him, most obviously it was a perfect timing because Ring of Flies, you know, interviews on TV, you know, and
storm.
everything. So now everyone feels like, oh, this guy is running away now because he has money now. So he's leaving us. So I feel like that's why I'm saying it's too dusty for me to try and explain. You know?
Yeah.
Let it like settle, and then I can explain better.
Go back to those
because
people.
They won't get it. They will feel like, oh, okay, when they don't know the story. Like the I think Raja would know because obviously like the same industry, same age and everything, you know, he would understand. But I don't feel like mom would understand. You know, mom thinks and you don't want us anymore. You know, so much that it's hard for me, it's awkward to even pick up a phone and call her, you know. I love her, dog. I love her with she did a lot of things for me, but it's hard for me to pick up a phone and call her because it's going to be awkward. It's going to feel like, okay, I left them, you know, in a way. But I guess, I don't know. I always say, like, you just have to do what you have to do, bro. Like, people are going to have their own, like, they're going to have their own conclusions and everything. But when the dust settles, the picture will be very clear. You will see.
It's crazy, man. Fame is such an insane monster because it's funny how people, you know, society always talks about how people who become famous change.
Yeah.
And it does happen, and they change for the worst sometimes. But a lot of the times, especially around people I associate with, people, it's not the people who become famous that change. It's the people around them who change how they see them.
Exactly.
I mean, I've had people coming out of the woodworks, we've never met but sihlobene. Okay, uzalwa kubo kababa, uzalwa babomdala kababa, my late dad. Now that person is calling me, khuluma nengane zakini. What do you mean?
How?
Now I'm speaking to their kids. Sawubona bhuti kunjani? Hawu awusivakashele ngani kodwa? I'm like, nihlalaphi? Anginazi nihlalaphi. Uba wena igama lakho?
Hayi ngane kaSpanbani.
Yebo. After that one call, the next call is asking for university money. And if you I can't do it, I don't have it.
Sometimes it's not even that you don't have it. Imagine how it would be if you make money, the first check that you get, you give it to the people.
Yeah.
And then now you have to carry on, but you don't have, like, there's no resources to carry on. How do I invest in myself if whatever that I make, I give it to you? You know?
What's in dude?
That's another thing. That is a different chapter. They won't even understand that. I'm just saying, like,
we've been here.
That's big, man. Just like, can't you just, like, that's why we're always talking bad about black people, like black tax now. But the truth, I understand, bro. Like, I very much understand that we are all poor. And I can't say the same thing that I can say about white people because they privileged, they do have money. You know, they don't have black tax and everything.
Yeah, generally, yeah.
But I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like we need to understand that before we sit there in that like dining table and eat chicken, not even talk about cabbage that we used to eat 50 years ago. But you have to, I don't know, like, you have to let your person be big, like, let him build to a point where even when they give you something, it doesn't hurt them, you know. It's not like, okay, once I give you this, then what happens, you know? Because I can give you, it's fine. But then what? Tomorrow I'm not gonna have it, and me not having it, you don't have it either.
Yeah,
you know.
And now that means I can't even. I'm not even in a position to make more.
Exactly.
Speaking of Ushizila Nabantu, like your relationship with Teleman is an insane and an insanely resilient one. We haven't really spoken about it in an hour, but I know just from being in the industry that you've been through a lot together.
True.
How have you? How is it that you guys have persevered so long? I mean, you both produce, you both sing, so there's more than enough reasons for you to start seeing each other as competition, and that's what always happens in the industry. Nenze kanjani nina as Select Play to be able to keep the ship sailing no matter how stormy the weather becomes?
Yeah, it has never been a hard situation.
Really?
I don't even remember a day ngicabana not say like same as Crown. I don't remember having a fight. I'm not talking about a dog. I'm talking about we're fighting, dog, like you stole my money type shit, though, you did this, like, or I'm mad at you for, like, we've never, ever, I don't remember a day, but I think Leon to Leo started and we have mutual respect for each other, you know. And I know when he's down, I need to be up. And he knows that when I'm down, he also needs, like, it can't, like, raise a concern at the house. It's okay, I don't like this. And then messing is mina. Hey, fuck, manje, now, you know. So ma would see, and he has a concern. I'm gonna try and understand his concern. And okay, this is what. All right, this is what I can fix. So that now, I'm having given a concern one day, he can also understand. You know.
You
so
can
like
find neutral ground.
Yeah, we just I don't know, we just respect. This is not even something that we speak about. Like literally, we don't talk about this, but it just happens. Like I've never fought with him ever in my life, like ever. Yeah, that's how it goes. Like you can't. I don't know. Like I feel like you can't fight with him to talk. Like it's things you can talk. Like if you feel like if you have a concern. Even if it's something that has to do with work, dog, hey, I feel like you're not recording enough anymore. You know? I'm just concerned. Like,
I would think it's coming from a good place.
Recording. Can you just, you know, I'm like, actually, because I'm going to take it like that. I'm like, I know, he's really concerned about it. Let me do it, you know. So that opens up a space. So it's now, when you have a concern, is yabo ngeke azasho ukuthi awungijwayela kabi wena njalo mangikutshela wena ukuthi yenza into awuyenzi kodwa manje uza kumina uzongitshela hayi fuck then ngiyacabana.
I love that because too often namajita abanenkinga namajita angakhulumi namajita akhulume kwamanye amajita
and then it becomes a problem.
Now they're hearing it from someone else. Should say kuphuza icup ngami manje.
I've got this global pyramid scheme.
Fair to that hierarchy. I mean, I'm the one who currently has a hit.
Nah, dog. We are all the same, dog. If it's fuck, it's fuck. Not a bad fuck isn't like I don't care. You are bigger than me, right? I don't care. You have to wash your plates.
There we go.
You know, that's how it works.
Vetu, speaking of being bigger, you're very quiet, like in terms of the things that you do. I bet you LTD, you yourself didn't know some of the answers he's about to give to these questions, but of late, I heard you've actually worked with some international artists and no one knows. Like, South Africa, rapper, if something like that happens, trust me. In every corner, handing out flyers. Who have you? And it's part of hip hop, you know. The ego is part of hip hop, and it's to a degree, necessary. Who have you worked with recently?
And wait. Before I answer the question, like some people don't know, but he produced that song by Beast and Java. Do you know that?
Oh, hello.
Yeah, that was me and Lunatic
Beats.
Yeah. That was his I think there's a song that he did with Usjava. It was like a chorus and a beats, like a long time ago. So when Upi Stefan Ngoma and then Usjava obviously had no time, and then he realized how then he sent it. What's the actual Lunatic could say? I'm not sure though about the beats because you know it was a long time ago. And then what's Upi starting off as Nzokuluma no last was Bones Misanja, and then on the idea, and then I just like flipped it around, you know, put this and that, but I can't take the full credit for it.
So it was a collaboration.
50-50. Yeah, it's a collaboration.
Yeah, I love that you did that. Lots of rappers and producers don't. Yeah. People just take credit. But here's where I want you to take your credit. Who have you worked with internationally recently?
Hey, we're working. We're working with a lot. What I like about working is when you work with this person introduces you to this person.
Yep.
And then you work. I remember when I did when we did. There's a song. It's not released. Lastee, which was like fuck them niggas. I hate them niggas. All that. Yeah.
People want that joint.
Unfortunately,
these niggas pretentious, scandalous, devious, trying to bench us. No, sir.
I'm going.
That beat.
Yeah.
That beat. Oh my God.
Yeah. So when we did that, when we did that, I think he got an inbox from Saya. There's a girl who did I just who did there was a docu type of thing that was happening. I think it was on Netflix. I'm not sure. You know those hip hop competitions / docu type thing. Yeah. There was a girl. She's more like lesbian kind of vibe. You know.
Saya.
Yeah. Oh, that's her name.
Hold on. Light skinned.
She's a bit light skinned, I think. Saya, I think there's only one Saya.
Does she have lots of tattoos?
I know her. I know her.
Yeah. Yo, I think that might be all I do is smoke, drink.
Yeah.
So I can get high, elevator dreams go up.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so dope.
No, that's not where I'm going.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm saying when Junior dropped that
she is smaller though. Yeah.
Yeah, when Junior dropped that thing, the world went crazy. You know, everyone was like,
the world.
Hey, bro, this thing is like he got.
You're talking about the Instagram snap.
Yes.
That's yeah.
Yeah. He dropped it and then everyone like was in his inbox and everything. Saya also said, Chief, things too much, man. Let me do a verse here or something. You know, what can we do? You know, but what I'm trying to say is that sometimes you pass other things, you know, and you don't blow things out of proportion, you know, and you being grounded opens up more for like other people. Because there's another idea that we made, sent it to Junior for the projects. He is with some power. And then luckily, T.I. was in the city. Or well, not in the same city, he was in Cape Town. I think he was doing something.
Oh damn.
And then he's like, hey, who's this kid? Who's this Lastee kid that everyone's talking about? And then he's listening to things. I know, actually, this kid is fire. And everything. And then it's like it's a perfect time because, you know, he's also working. And then he inboxes him, yo, Chief, hey, let's do something, dog. You know, I'm here. Let's like link up, you know, do something, you know. And then I think, I don't know if they were able, because I don't know, I wasn't there obviously, but I don't know if they were able to be in the same place but what I know is that there was ideas that we sent to Yenutruni, and then he sent them to T.I. And T.I. was like, I know, Chief, this one, this one is the one. And fortunately, it happened to be the one that one of the ideas that we sent to him, like beats that we sent to him. He's like, I know, I'm jumping in here, you know. And then now we're getting introduced to like, that's why I'm saying that you have to be like chill. Don't, like when people, even when people inbox you, just don't make it a big deal, you know, just like relax. Because most people don't want that, you know. So us being quiet about everything opened up a space for us. Wow. We've been in this industry for 30 years, but I've never even sent a beat to T.I., you know. I didn't even hustle that. It was just, it's okay, I know.
It was very organic.
It's organic. But
when the chance came, the music spoke for itself.
Yeah. You know. So it's like things like those. Me, I don't like, you know, talking about.
Speaking of letting them,
it's just like let them happen.
Yeah.
You know.
Speaking of letting the music speak for itself, you've just recently dropped a project which I am so grateful to be a part of. Putting me on, bro.
I need to listen to that project.
Yo, you need to.
Yeah.
When people,
when we're done here, that's your number one. That's homework.
That's it. Yeah,
that's
homework. So when social connections, your life has been a lot of winding roads, forking into different paths, and leading to heartache, pain, gains, being robbed of what's rightfully yours, or only seeing a portion of it, and still trying to maintain a humility and while also trying to learn the value of who you are. The project that you've dropped, how much of your life story does it tell?
It tells a lot. Because there's a song for it, like for each and every piece in my life.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah. When I do this, okay, let's make a song about that. When we do that, okay, let's make a song about that. But the whole point of the project, I wasn't trying to conceptualize it too much. The whole point for me was there was a lot of songs that I have that are in the box.
You have a ton.
So I felt like, firstly, I want to sing Banglishe Cool, me trying to do my own things. People don't know that, so it's unfair for me to like keep them waiting for so much. And I'm also working on an album, and there's an album that I'm working on. There's I don't know what to call that. It's a project though that we are working on as Select Play. And
the posse cut.
I feel like I really felt like if we release those songs, like that music, all this thing that is in the box, because now we're gonna feel like it's too outdated, this. Because la panang nengoma, katingisho nje, nengoma, as I record, I think it was 2013.
Yeah.
This is like 7 years ago. Maybe 8 now, because it's final to 2021, man. And then there's a song that I just recorded like now on the same tape. So it's like I just like compiled everything that I could, which is the reason why there's a lot of features also, because I just wanted to put it out. I didn't want to think about oh shit, I still need verse 2, I still need verse 3, none. I just like sent ideas around, guys, if you feel like you can do something here, let's put it out. So like that was like the whole idea. But there are songs that are like what's happening. But there's also like Mina. My process of like writing music isn't really like a pen. I sit like this on the mic, play a beat, what comes, I put it there. When the song is done, I'm also surprised. Oh shit! Oh, this song is dope. Try this one. Let me record. So it surprises me.
So you're not one of those artists who say they write from what they feel, or they write from.
Not all the time. It happens, but not all the time. Most of the time, it's literally just fiction. I just make it up, and then as I go, you know. But also the nicest thing, one thing I've realized is, it's nice to at least experience everything, even if it's once in your life. I'm not saying do drugs and everything, but it's easier to talk about something. It's easier to talk about. I'm never gonna talk about coke in my music because I've never done it. I don't know how it feels. So it's easier though to talk about things if you have experienced them.
Regardless of whether you condone them or not, but because you have first-hand experience.
It just makes it easier. But you can. I mean, you're an artist. You can make shit up also. It doesn't have to be real all the time.
It's just like me. Recently, around September. I dropped like an EP called Roses Are Not Always Red. I got dumped so badly, and I got dumped at the wrong time. I was going through some sort of depression part. MarazA knows about that part. I was going through a rough time. Then this girl that I was dating comes and says, "Look, it's over." And I was like, I was puzzled as to why. And I was like, okay, sharp, fine, it's over, done. Then in my mind, I was like, nah, fam, I have to get this off my chest. Then I made beats. Some songs I made 2018, not knowing if they're going to relate to my heartbreak.
Wow. Yeah. So you're able to go to music you've made before, and it now has an even bigger meaning to you now.
So I basically made like an EP of six to 5 tracks speaking about my heartbreak. Like, okay, this first song is like, oh, I met this shorty. Second song asking, what is love? Third song, like, nah, I fucking played myself by dating you. That song, I'm like, I'm broken. Fourth song, I'm like, why am I always thinking about going back to you? Something like that. Yeah.
Hey, back here, Tina, man.
Hey, dog. So creating music for me, for the first time from an experience, was something like, whoa, actually this works. Because I always had doubts because maybe artists are just creating stories. Not knowing what some artists actually go through something.
Yeah, it's good therapy. So when the project we were talking about, I actually forgot to name it. What's it called?
It's called Last. It's the last EP.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The last EP from Lastee.
Yeah. Not only that, I was just trying to play around.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a well thought of thing, but it was more like, okay, I'm Lastee and I'm tired of dropping EPs also.
I'm going to an album now.
I want to drop the last EP. That's not to say I'm never going to drop an EP again. It's just to say
for now,
I'm not going to drop any EP until I drop an album. So it's the last EP before the album.
Yeah, but that's too. That name would be too long. The last EP before I drop my first full-length album.
No, it's too long. So I just called it that. And obviously, because there's like songs that are like slow, talking to girls, sexy and everything. So I was like, I'm gonna spell the last with a V because the V is gonna look like a U and it's gonna be like last also, So I was just trying to play around with all of that, last.
And to be honest, we do last for the success. Who have you worked with on that project? Who's in that project?
Yeah, I worked. There's a song that we did in 2018. Take My Time. It was me, Tela, and Lastee, which I felt was a bit slept on, so I put it back there.
Nice.
Yeah, for people to revisit. So I don't know if I can credit that as I think because it's part of the project.
Yeah, because I don't know that song.
Yeah, I worked with Tela, I worked with Lastee, I worked with Crown. I work with another amazing guy called MarazA. I don't know if you know him, but
I haven't really heard of that guy. But apparently he's the GOAT.
You need to check him out. It's like super.
Gold.
Yes. And I work with Tribal. Yeah. Tribal.
Oh man. It's amazing how far you've come for it to there's a lot that I already knew about you, but there's so much more that I'm learning that I've learned throughout the course of this conversation. I really appreciate in the many, many years we've known each other, you've been the same guy.
Yeah.
Ever since. And I really hope that no matter what happens, that does not change. You've been through a lot. We've been hit with a lot of curveballs. We've been hit with a lot of shit buckets, and there's been so much that has happened, so much that could have turned you into the same monsters you've been battling, into the same asshole that you've been getting affected by. But it's so reassuring for me to see talented people who have every right to be cocky, who have every right to be cocky, but don't take that opportunity, no matter how many people have been cocky towards them. So I'm not only wishing you all the best with your project, it's a given, and this is not where it starts, it's definitely not where it ends. But overall, in fact, I really hope you're able to find yourself seeing the dust settle so you can fix things with your adoptive mother, creating a beautiful life for your daughter and yourself and the rest of your family, and also just finding yourself in a position where all those people that have profited from your blood, sweat, and tears, when you are able to look back and say, you know what, you took Leo Nkomo from me, but I didn't isibaya. Mina manje sengine sami. How, with everything you've gone through, how is your life so far?
I'm nice. I won't say God hasn't like blessed me,
Yeah.
He has blessed me. Like I've learned a lot, I've been out of this country, and back, which is something that I never it's we are border, so I won't say got, like, there's a lot, obviously, that I still need to achieve and everything.
Yeah.
You know, but I won't be ungrateful and say, if it's I don't even like that thing. Like, whenever you say, hey, if it's Kambanja, hey, let's say, it's you know, because I always feel like you're never grateful for anything.
Yeah, we should be grateful sometimes.
Yeah, so I won't lie about that. Like, I have things now that I couldn't. I was even like, this just previous day, I was even talking about, like, I bought my, I think it was like a third pair of Audio Technicas.
Yeah,
that I like very much. Yeah,
I love.
It was something so simple. I know someone was gonna look at that and like, oh, Chief, come on, this thing is only like what 3,500. Yeah. So why are you? But I couldn't afford that. Yeah, I even said that I'm broke, but I even said that I'm still broke. I'm broke, but the meaning of broke now is different.
Yes.
That's what I always tell my friends. Don't ever use the word broke. Just say, I don't have it now, but I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, no, but what he's saying is now, even though he's not where he wants to be, but his current version of broke
is different.
Was a dream 10 years ago. 10 years ago, he could have looked at that and said, that's what I want to be. So I love that you're acknowledging how far you've come. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on to the show. That's Lastee. It is not the last time you're seeing him. He will be back many a time over. One of my favorite artists to collaborate with. And
he's very humble.
Very humble. LT, when we have the MarazA convention, when we hook up next year, he's one of the people that I'm going to try and make damn sure he's there, so that you can just hang out with the man and the human behind the music, because he is always. I
would like to meet him.
I can't wait for you to meet him. That's it for Lastee in terms of his life so far, on the life so far. Myself and LTD, my co-host for Namhlanje, will be back right after this.
Whenever she's drunk, that's what's be coming out her mouth. It's confusing, but all I really ever wanted in my cup is the codeine and the juice. Yeah.
Yes, sir. That is the man himself, Lastee. I'm really, really grateful to have been able to get a chance to know this guy. I'm really grateful to have been able to get a chance to sit on the life so far with him. LTD, even though you are not here with us physically, I could feel that you were really engaged. What was the standout moment for you in the conversation we just had with Lastee?
The way he portrayed himself, actually. I haven't seen him in person, but I can tell that he's a much more grounded person.
Yeah.
Such and such. Yeah. You know me by such and such. Yeah. He's a much humble guy. He's relaxed. He's like, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. I'll adjust to it and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I got from him.
You couldn't be more accurate. You hit it right on the nail. He's an incredibly genuine and kind person. And unfortunately in the industry, people like that tend to get taken advantage of. I mean, I know it's happened to me a couple of times, but he's resilient, and deciding not to change who you are just because of what other people do to people like you is shows a real strength of character for me. And that's what for me is really important for a lasting career, a resilient career, because this industry is cutthroat. As you are now trying to make your way into it, LTD, how do you see, how is your life so far?
Hey, right now, I won't lie. I won't say that it's smooth sailing. It's a lot of ups and downs. It's a lot of roadblocks here and there. But at the same time, like, you know what? Let me just do me and not focus on what the other person is doing if we're in the same field. Because if I tend to keep my focus on that person and try to better myself to be above that person, then I'm only hurting myself. So if I actually do me, I actually finding a way forward. We'll say, okay, I've done this, now what's the next step? I've done this, what's the next step? If I approach a roadblock, what is it that I need to do? If I need help, I'll go out and look for help. If there isn't, I'll find a way to keep it moving, type of thing. Yeah. I don't know if I'm making sense.
You're making perfect sense, man. So no matter how bad it gets, no matter how bad it is, you're not disillusioned about how life is right now, but you're also not allowing yourself to dwell on that. And that's the one way you'll be able to move from now and from where you are onto better circumstances. First, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I truly appreciate your time.
It was an honor.
The honor was all mine. Where can people find you, dog?
People can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's LTD Fresh. LTE Fresh. One word.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm on Spotify and SoundCloud as well. LTD Fresh as well.
I love that. I like that. Consistent branding through and through. LTD, thank you so much. If we ever have like a best of as far as co-hosts are concerned, it's the second episode, but you've made an indelible mark on me, and I'm pretty sure not just me, on my audience as well. For when another guy are watching this, thank you so much for joining in. That's the end of today's podcast. Kumbula, the Live SoFa podcast. Every single Friday we're live. Monday we go on to also all podcasting, all the pod. Way isi ngesi. On Monday, we go on to all podcasting platforms. You can be a part of it, just like LTD was. I hit him up on Twitter. He said he was down, and we did the damn thing. And we may have just discovered another uprising producer, creative, but also presenter or radio host. Ngintana nonke, I'll be seeing you guys next week. Have a good one.